Hello, and welcome to First Friday C3 Crafting Corner Conversations. I'm so happy you decided to join me live, or whether you're watching the replay. Is such an amazing time to spend with you all in the new year. Now, this will be a recurring webinar. So every first Friday, 6 p.m., please mark your calendars. Okay, we will be covering different topics, but if there's something you are wanting to know more about, drop it in the comments. We'll be sure to add it to the list. Let me know, how many streams of income do you think you can make with a cutting machine? That's a Cricut Silhouette. How many streams of income do you think you can make? We'll dig deeper into that today specifically because we want you to be able to tap into as many streams of income as you can this year. That's what it's about, right? Get into that bag. And this is the most simple way to do so. If you have a cutting machine, the options are truly endless. Okay, so let's dive right in. All right. So first off, most people know about Cricut and Silhouette, right? So Cricut Maker is actually the newest or the most popular model, but the newest model is Cricut Maker 3. Now, when I tell you Maker 3 is might be the most ideal, only because we'll talk about the features a little later, but only because that's when Cricut actually kind of pushed that no mat zone basically. So it gave the opportunity to kind of decrease the amount of accessories you need to create your projects. But Silhouette is right there with them. They are pretty comparable. And we'll determine a little later which machine might be best for you, and determining if you already have one of these machines, what projects you can potentially make. Now with the Silhouette, they have three different model options. Cameo is the latest, newest version. They are up to model 4. Cameo 4, I believe, is the latest model that they have. And that one's nothing to be reckoned with either because of the print size that you're able to do, which kind of makes it a little better than Cricut, but also depending on what type of projects you prefer to do. Now, not as prominent, brother, if you're into sewing and things like that, they actually have had a cutting machine. It's called Scan and Cut for some time now. You typically don't hear about it much. It's not highly promoted, but it's still, a good machine to start off with. And then Sizer, you would actually know about that if you're already in the t-shirt making game, on the basic level. If you're dealing with vinyl, that's actually one of my favorite vinyl brands, and they are pretty spectacular in that aspect, in that field. But of course, if you make vinyl, of course you will have a cutting machine, right? So that's actually what the Sizer Juliet is. And as you see, it's pretty small. It doesn't have as much of a range as you see with a Cricut or Silhouette, but it's still an option. And there's a few other cutting machines out there. You can kind of get into the weeds with what you're going to cut versus, your budget. But there are a lot more out there. These are going to be your top picks, basically, right? So we're going to actually focus on Cricut and Silhouette, since those two are the most prominent ones you're going to find, whether you're in Michael's, if you're in Hobby Lobby, they are readily available. Okay, now personally, just as an aside, please look on the manufacturer website. They are always running deals and bundle packages. I personally got mine off the Cricut website, and it came as a bundle deal. I think they might still be running it, but the everyday bundle. So it came with some starter items like your tools. It came with extra blades. It came with vinyl, different types of vinyl. It came with leather to try out. So it actually gave me the ability to try out how great and how extensive the Cricut materials I could use, how extensive it could be. So I really enjoyed that. But look there, I know a lot of people go on Amazon, but honestly, if you get it from Cricut, their customer service is A1. Now, Silhouette, don't have a Silhouette machine, but it's just as powerful, if not more, than Cricut. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. Because they are balanced, some things that stand out the most in differences would be the number of blades and tips. So Cricut does win in that category with 10 options, and Silhouette has 5. Now that's not knocking Silhouette. Now each blade and tip will depend on what project you choose at the end of the day. So you might not need 10 blades, 10 tips. You might just need one, right? So we'll get to that shortly. Now, this is where, Silhouette kind of reigns supreme. It's that cutting area. Cricut maxes out at 12 by 24 inches. So perspective, if I was doing a full chest tee, I could potentially get up to maybe a 3X. So that's still comparable, but the design just text only, that could kind of surface a 12 by 24, right? But with Silhouette, you can get up to 10 feet, and that's on the base model. So just Cameo. I believe Cameo 4 can get up to 24 feet. So if you're doing like window designs and things like that, Silhouette is gonna be the machine you choose for that particular type of project. But if you're sticking in your lane with smaller projects, you can go either or. Cutting thickness, um, Silhouette has a higher ability, a better ability to press down heavier on materials. So the thicker materials, they actually slice through so much easier. Now, Cricut does have the ability to add more pressure within their design center, but it still doesn't compare to Silhouette. Trust me, once you get into it, you're gonna want a smooth transition when you're getting through different projects. For instance, cardstock. You will have to be very cognizant of the weight of the paper, of the cardstock, if you're working with a Cricut. Whereas with the Silhouette, it'll cut right through. Software wise, Cricut is 100% free. You will need internet, which, I mean, we have hotspots, so you're never going to be without internet, but it is 100% free. Whereas Silhouette, I've used their design software. It is limiting for the free version, and you don't need internet to use it. But depending on the different things that you would like to do with your designs, for instance, if you're doing sublimation, we'll talk about that in March. But if you're into sublimation, I actually use the Silhouette design space, and I that's going to be your best bet, is probably getting that pro version. But we'll get into that a little later. But just depends if you're okay with using just the easy print and go, cut and go. So that software is fine. But just so you know, Cricut does have way more free capabilities. It's easier, more intuitive. I like to think of it like an iPhone, Android. I know a lot of people don't like to go there. So Cricut is going to give you that iPhone type of vibe, easy to understand. Oh, scissor must mean cut. So it's very intuitive, whereas you will need a few tutorials for that Silhouette software, which is fine. Get once you use it more, you get to understand it. And the price points, they can be comparable depending on the machine you choose. At the end of the day, Cricut kind of usually costs more, but honestly, it will just depend. And you don't have to go out and get the Cameo 4 or the Maker 3. You can literally get a previous model and do the exact same thing. So don't be like, oh, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed because it's a new machine. Go with your budget first off, and then later on, once you get some profits in, then upgrade your machine later. Because I mean, you have two machines, you can make make more money. But to each his own. But starting out, don't overwhelm yourself at all. So just so you know, they are similar because they both, Cricut and Silhouette, you can use over 300 materials. So that includes, but not limited to, vinyl, which most people are familiar with. Even here, we have some HTV on the shirt. We have a little permanent vinyl on the glass here. And on top of this shadow box, we have permanent vinyl and glitter as well. Now, this is actually printed vinyl. So it's like there's so many options with vinyl. You can actually cut fabric, wood. A lot of the wood signs, very popular in the baby rooms. You could do it with the Cricut. Even though I did not use the Cricut to cut the tool that I use for this tutu, you could cut tool. It's so cool. Paper. These are actually paper flowers. They're made out of cardstock, but it's still a paper material. And I made this using a design found within the Cricut design software. So this is actually kind of like a little Mother's Day idea gift that I did a couple years ago. I just had a shadow box. You could cut felt, craft foam, leather, uh, foil. You can pretty much cut anything with a Cricut or Silhouette. So the options are truly endless. Okay. Now, I just want to take time to just remind y'all if y'all have any questions, whether you're watching live or the replay, just put them in the chat. I will be sure to come back and answer them. All right, we're going to dive into the different type of projects you can make. Okay. So with those materials we mentioned, I'm just going to touch on four of the most popular ones. Everybody is more familiar with vinyl. I mean, you go on Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they have an entire wall full of it, right? But there are lots of different types of vinyl, but the ones you'll probably start off with are going to be HTV and permanent vinyl. As an aside, if you're doing any type of stretch fabric, like if you're doing like spandex or if you're doing like a lycra or something that stretches, please utilize stretch vinyl. If you use regular HTV, it will peel off. That is one mistake I see a lot of newbies doing. Please use the appropriate vinyl for your project. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So, vinyl projects, okay? Everyone does apparel. You know, that's going to be your A1. You can start a business just doing onesies. You can do shirts. You can add an emblem on sweatpants, shorts, any basketball shorts. You can literally just have a whole apparel business using vinyl, right? Shoes. Now, you won't be able to use like a regular heat press with shoes. You'll actually need like a little baby iron, but shoes are possible. Tote bags are very popular. Get you a few designs going, different themes. Tote bags, business, okay? Everybody needs a bag, especially on vacation. So, perfect time. And then if you're really getting fancy, make a bundle deal. Have similar designs. Oh, you got this top? Okay, I can add a similar design to a tote bag. Okay, leverage your audience, leverage your revenue, okay? A lot of people don't think about wall art either. Now with wall art, it's so simple. Now, depending on your design, it could be intricate, but it's so pretty at the end of the day. So with wall art, you literally you would use permanent vinyl, and you would literally pretty much you'll weed it, which means taking out the negative space, the negative pieces of vinyl you do not need to make your picture show, and you would literally put it on a piece of cardstock and frame it. So you could literally sell that for $20+ depending on the size of the design, and it took you 2 minutes. Okay, let's bring in the money. Let's bring in the revenue. All right, let's start these businesses. Drinkware, like I showed you before. Labels, like glass jars. You can do regular permanent vinyl, but there's etching vinyl, so you don't have to use the messy etching cream. You could literally buy the etching vinyl, and it looks so good on glass jars. So that's something that's new and exciting, that you could have your own brand. You could partner with people who use glass in their businesses. Okay. Wood art, I touched on this a little bit before. A lot of people like to do the signs with the letters. We'll get to that when we talk about wood, but a lot of people don't realize you can use vinyl on wood. So if you have a cutting board, you could just use vinyl on the back, because we don't want to we don't want to mess up anything unless you're going to seal it with some type of acrylic sealant that is food safe. Then but usually like on the back of a wood design, you could probably just do like a cute little like a monogram or something like that. And then signage and decals. A lot of times, I know you see on the side of the road, you have the little sign in the picket that's in the grass. That's vinyl. So instead of taking the pack of letters from your craft store and literally lining them up next to each other, just do it on the Cricut. Takes 2 minutes, and everything's aligned nicely and smooth. Make it easy. Work smarter, not harder. So with the cardstock, you saw I did the paper flowers, I did paper roses. but they literally have everything. They have carnations, they have tulips, they have literally every flower. Now, it might not look like anything when you cut it out. It'll literally just be like paper. But once you twirl it up and then glue the bottom as instructed, oh, so beautiful. Now, you could do paper lanterns and luminaries, and invitations. You could literally, wedding invitations, people are going to get married almost every month, okay? Tap in, okay, to the invitations. I already talked about wood signs, but wood puzzles, anyone? Revenue, very, very good with the children because they're learning sensory, things like that. So you can literally buy wood, engrave their name. I think I haven't done it fully, but the projects, which I'll show later, they oh, there's so many different resources out there. But with the kid puzzle, you can literally cut out the letter. So say you cut out a C, you can literally take that piece that was cut out, put a knob on it. So you literally have the engraved wood and the excess, the negative piece of wood that makes the letter, and you have a simple, easy puzzle. Very, very good with kids. So that's something idea if you want to do something kid related. You can do it earrings, wood earrings. I know plenty of y'all have gone to the farmers market or to any type of vending event. People have accessories. You could literally make earrings and just get creative with your paint, your acrylic paint, bedazzling, whatever you want to do. But the hardest part, so you don't have to get a soldering iron or anything like that. You don't have to play with fire. You don't have to play with little not those fancy industrial, saws. Get a Cricut. It cuts through. Now, mind you, the wood is thinner, but it's still quality. Leather, one of my favorites to work with. You can also do jewelry, earrings and bracelets, but baby booties. So if you are into doing baby apparel, you could literally make baby booties out of leather. Um, to close it up though, it would be you could do either or. A lot of people surprisingly do still use hot glue guns. That's why they are still in business. But a simple needle and thread, and that honestly, the needle and thread adds so much pizzazz to it, and just a nice little handcrafted touch. Yeah, so baby booties is one. Keychains and wallets. A lot of people don't even think about that. You can literally make wallets. Father's Day gonna be coming up. You can do like a little something with your child if you have one. Y'all can make a wallet together so he or she can give that to their dad. Simple, quick, easy gifts that you can sell or just use as gifts for personal use, right? So, honorable mention, another favorite. Calligraphy takes forever to learn. It is something that takes a lot of time to perfect. I have dabbled in it, and I mean, honestly, it's a lot. You have to have special paper, ink, the right pen, the right tips. It's a lot. But you could literally just find the perfect script font that you love, put a pen in your Cricut, and press start. That's it, literally. So something that may take, a year or two to perfect, you could just go ahead and make a business out of it with your Cricut. So you can literally make cards for any occasion. Oh, I'm sorry. If you don't know what calligraphy is, this is an idea of what calligraphy is, just that really fancy script font. You can make cards for any occasion. So birthday cards, Mother's Day cards, anything like that. Another fun one is envelope addresses. So a lot of times you might, have like a special event and you do not want to write out all the addresses by hand. You can literally load it up on your mat. You can probably get about, depending on which mat you use, you can probably get about 10 to 12 envelopes on a 12 by 24 mat, and go ahead and set that up on your Cricut in Design Space and go to town. So within 2 to 3 minutes, you literally instead of writing it by hand, whereas one would have taken you 3 minutes, you can have 12 done in three. So it's all about, minimizing that time that it takes you to do really cutesy stuff. You can do coloring pages, name tags, placement cards. Another cool one that I've done is engraved necklaces. So even though these are keychains, the necklaces look very similar to this. and you literally can use like any type of font, a calligraphy font, initial, or just a block font, and you can use the engraving tip and put it on your mat, and it will literally engrave very nicely with no fuss. So I was talking about Cricut and their project library. So once you download Design Center or Design Space, I believe it's called, you'll be offered Cricut access. So you get the first 3 months at half off, but it's only $5 a month. And you get access to a lot. Okay. So if from the list of things that we talked about, if you're curious, like, I want to get into leather or I want to get into card making, but I don't know where to start, Design Center is going to be your best bet. Okay. Now, this is free software. So if you have a silhouette, you could literally still have Design Center, download the or copy the template, that's the word, copy the template into Silhouette. Now it would have to be like a screenshot, screen share type of thing, and then upload it in. But that's the story for another day. You got to get with the techniques, kind of like the back end of it. But you have that Cricut access. Now, next, I do want to do a quick little demo for you. So here, let me do my screen share. We have there we go. So here we have Cricut Design Space, right? So Cricut Design Space, like I said, is for Cricut, but it is free. So if you have a silhouette, go for it, download it, because you can still utilize these resources. Now, what I love about it, one, of course, they're gonna have their ads at the top, but they're not like gaudy or anything. They're usually promoting their newest products, but they're gonna have some things that they recommend. They're gonna have some new featured things, things that are trending on social. You see those labels I was talking about. This was very, very hot. I don't know if y'all remember, about 2 years ago, everyone was doing the like the Spotify shadow boxes, the float frames. That was so hot. If you had a Cricut or a Silhouette, you could have made bank. People were charging like 120 for these, and it literally took a few minutes to put together. But I'm bringing you here because I want to show you. Say you want to get into card making. We know weddings are going to happen every month. So, wedding cards, right? So, I just want to see what kind of projects are out there for wedding cards. You see that? 11,487 images, right? Then they have projects. These are ones that I've done, that I've actually done. So they actually separated. I love organization. So if you're looking for images, so remember I was telling you about those table placements. You don't have to find your own font. Here you go. And it gives you option to share with the community. So this one, Amelia made it. So these are ones that you save. They have them. I did some Mother's Day cards. So that's under my projects. But under here, you have 2,000. Not only do you have the images, you have the full on projects as well. So with this, I'll just click on this one since it's the most popular. Let's see here. And if it does right, yes, it will show you a picture. Usually the most popular ones I usually kind of go for, but if you like it and it hasn't got any hearts, still give it some love. But usually everything on here is going to be between 99 cents and like $2.99. The most I've paid for a design is maybe like $1.99 because it was a bundle pack, right? So say you want, oh, I love this design. I want to create it. How hard is it going to be? They lay out everything for you. This is an easy one. It's going to take less than 30 minutes. You can actually determine the size that you want to make it. So, and it will actually update your requirements. If you want to upload a picture when you're done, you can. But just to show you, when Miss Barb did it, she didn't follow the colors. She followed what she wanted. So make it your own. Get creative. So they're going to tell you what you need in order to do the project, which I love. And they also give you full on instructions and how to assemble it. This is ideal. And of course, remember I mentioned about the writing tools. You're gonna need your writing pen, and they tell you what type of blade you need. So, and it's only $99. I'm sorry, 99 cents. So for a dollar, literally a dollar investment for the design, you may pay, maybe we'll just say per card, you may spend a dollar, we'll say a dollar 50, $2 per card that you make, right? But you're selling this, you can sell like a pack of 10. If you want to just sell it for 15 or $20, or and then have an add-on for if you would like us to actually write a personal message on the inside for you. We can do that as an add-on, as to add on an extra $5, So if you want to add on an envelope, add on the envelope addressing for an additional $6. So you're literally making, after you sell one card or a bundle of cards, you make your profit back instantly. So you can do that. That's one reason why I like Cricut design space, because it does give you a lot of options and a lot of room to grow. So any you got an idea, or you have some cardstock laying around and you want to know what type of project, just type in cardstock and it will change your life. It will show up there, right? So you can get some ideas, bookmark them for later, and go from there. So, what next, Jay? What do I do next? You get started. Okay. So, if you already have a machine, you already know what you're going to be doing. But if you don't have a machine yet, figure out what projects you're looking to do. See what size range you'll need and go from there. The size issue is really, the size of your projects will literally determine what machine you will need. They both cut the same type of materials, but that size factor really takes the cake, as well as the tips and blades. So make sure, like if you're talking about engraving, make sure the machine you choose has the tip that you need that's compatible. And next, you'll go into the accessories. So we already talked about the blades and tips. What type of mat? If you're working with fabric, you need a fabric mat. And that's determining the stickiness, how sticky the hold of the mat. So they have a light grip mat, they have a fabric mat, and they have a strong grip mat. They are color coded. Just because you got a Cricut does not mean you have to buy Cricut accessories. The mats you can buy on Amazon if you so wish to. I believe Hobby Lobby has a brand called Paper Studio. That's also a vinyl brand. I have plenty of their mats. They run sales on Paper Studio, so go with the sale option. Don't break bank just because you want a label type of mat. The mat is doing nothing but holding the material down. So, and half the time I still use tape to secure it. So, don't spend buku money on mats. Your money is going to come from the machine and your blade replacements, and if you want to do any kind of fancy, like engraving or embossing, you're going to need that specific blade or tip. That's going to be your investment. Now, depending on what you want to do, you're going to need those materials. So if you're looking at doing all paper items, just buy a value pack of cardstock at a light. Determine your weight that you would need in your cardstock. They do come in various weights or thickness. Determine what material you'll need to do your project. And then next up, you got to get your items out there. Etsy shop will probably be your best bet. Just starting out, in vending events, just to get your name out there. Now, if you already have clientele, already have, things set up like on a website, and just want to add this into like another bracket of new exclusive items or new handmade items, go for it. You don't need all the extra bedazzling. But I mean, I have Etsy shop for my design work, but I have a website for my apparel. So it just depends on what you're looking for, or what and how much you're willing to invest starting out. So don't go all, willy nilly getting a domain and getting, your shop set up, when Etsy will do it for you. Yes, they will, take revenue, take their percentage, but you can still get your name out there. You can run promotions and things like that. I love vending events because that allows you to show your personality, be able to kind of show network basically. I try to do a few vending events every year. Even if I'm not vending, I still try to go and support because you don't know who you can network with. Okay. So it's all about networking, chopping it up, sharing knowledge, and that's how you get your name out there. Now, last demo, and we're coming to the end here. All right, the last demo I want to show you is Etsy. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my screen share here. All right, screen share. You should be able to see my Etsy page here. So, say for instance, you are looking to do, we'll just say invitations. Okay, we'll just say I'm looking to do invitations, but I don't know how much to sell them for, or what. I don't know. So let's come here, and literally, this can be done literally on a Cricut, which is so cool. But let's do like this. As you can see, now this is printed. This is it. Most of this is some of this is printed. Let me see. I want to do one of the ones that were engraved in because that's kind of what they were showing. Most of those are going to be your wedding invitations, and they run you like these paper ones. Okay, so this is a good one actually. Perfect. So you can see how they do it in a bundle. You can literally find a script that you love. Cricut has some, but you can also get free fonts online. There are like 3 or 4 different websites that are reputable. Find a cute script that you love that rings wedding, 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 right? And you can literally just have it entered into Cricut, and you can literally do this whole package in one slew. So probably on your 12 by 24 mat, line your cards up, line your envelope up, and go to town. Go to town. You saw that was what, 12, $10? We're not getting that fancy, but just saying, starting out, you see all of this, $6. It's on sale. She's a star seller, 105, but originally $14. $14. You got it. You got it. Let's see. Let's try. Let's just do a Cricut birthday card SVG, because you're gonna sometimes you will do SGV or PNG, but SVG. So say for instance you were just looking for a design, right? You could literally just come here. This is $3 for a design. If you want to make this or make this one, you literally just come to Etsy and buy the template itself. So you buy the template for $3, buy your materials, and you just promote it. You promote it. And honestly, a lot of times, which I do notice, a lot of times you'll have one person on Etsy selling the template, but then on the back end you'll have someone actually selling the actual design. So it's just like, okay, so either I can make it myself or I can just purchase it over here from this person for $10. So it's all about, ease of use. A lot of people are not gonna just go with the hassle of, well, I just need this one card, I like this one, but I don't want to invest. So that's where you come in. You have all what you need to make it. So all you do is find a cute design that you like. You didn't see any in the design center that you like, but come to Etsy, because a lot of people are very crafty and they actually make their own designs and share them and sell them. That's what I do. So here we go. I honestly, I love this. And I love how with Cricut you can do that 3D effect. And pretty much all it is you're cutting out that happy birthday with Cricut and you're gluing the cardstock underneath. That makes that layered look. But yeah, and you can add different personalizations within Etsy, which I love. The only thing is some people do not read instructions. So if you do plan on doing Etsy shop, be thorough to a T. That's what I tell my clients most of the time. Update your Etsy listing to leave no room for any questions. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so now we're gonna go back to finish up here. We are actually at the very end. If you are interested in, if you already have a Cricut or a Silhouette and you are interested in some of my favorite projects that I've done, that I've worked on in various mediums, so leather, paper, vinyl, felt. So if you're looking to kind of see what projects that I like and how I would suggest kind of doing stepwise, I do have a Cricut recipe book coming out. It's a crafter's cookbook. If you are interested, I am doing a January pre-sale for the promo. You will receive a $10 discounted price. If you prefer the paperback version, you will receive free shipping if purchased in January. And as another freebie, you'll receive video tutorial access. Now, come February, this will be an add-on for an additional price. But you all, whoever purchases in January, will have access to lifetime access for free. So this is honestly one of the best options you can get. And then this one right here. Next up, third Thursday, Mastermind Collective. Now, this is more of a workshop series. So if you have a business or you're an aspiring entrepreneur, Mastermind Collective is wanting to make sure you have the foundation you need in order to start your business off right. We want a firm foundation. And that starts with knowing who your avatar is. Who is your audience? So we will be doing a hands-on workshop session on third Thursday this month at 6 p.m. And you can actually find that link on the Creator Studio Academy Instagram page, or with this QR code here, okay? So I want you to go ahead and RSVP to the next event. I hope to see you. And as always, stay crafty.